Dr. Eli Karam joins us, president of the Marriage and Family Therapists of Kentucky at the moment. Good to see you, Eli.
Good to see you.
You've been working a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, it took a little siesta from my visits with you to get some writing done, but I'm back, and we've started the fall semester at the family therapy program at the Kent School of Social Work, and everything is well.
Very good. I saw some lovely photos of your family.
Yeah, we had a good summer. We took some time together. You know, I have a son, it'll be 5 next month. My daughter's 3, so they're the age where you can now do stuff. You don't have to give them a nap, so we did a lot of fun stuff.
Let's talk about that first off here. All right, you had a good time. Families have some good time together in the summer, and then there's sort of a new thing that gets fostered there. Everybody's sort of into each other's lives because they're not busy with work and whatever. How do you continue that feeling as you get back into your regular life, your ritualistic life of going to work and school?
Yeah, it's a good question. Families now, this is like week 4, week 5 this school year, so they're adjusting back into the routine. The temperature will be cool this week, starting to change, but I think it is a transition for a lot of couples, especially during the summer when they're used to doing things outside, having fun together. It stays daylight long to kind of transition into the fall, and that obviously comes depending on the age of the children and the family, and also the parent schedule. For a lot of parents, it is coordinating all the after school activities, which can be a lot too. So many people, again, as we always say, have a calendar, communicate. Many families have a time during the week where they literally put it all in the calendar, kind of the family meeting where the teenagers, if you have teenagers or active preteens, they make the request early on. If the request is made, the parents know what's going on. They can generally accommodate, or at least try to accommodate. It's the last minute, take me here, drive me there, that can really kind of start these negative cycles in families with the hustle and bustle of the fall schedule.
Speaking of teenagers or tweens or whatever you want to call these younger folk, you get a little better connected to them during your vacation time. And there's a story that's real big today about the dad who put on the little short shorts.
I saw it on your Facebook. Yeah,
you've seen that already here.
Yeah.
Is that for those of you unaware, this dad put on these real short shorts to sort of teach his daughter a lesson about, hey, you're hanging out too much, and he looks, what was the deal? I read the article a little while ago. They were going bowling or playing mini golf or something, and she wouldn't change her shorts. Her mother said, "Change your shorts," and she said no. So the dad cut off his blue jeans to imitate his daughter. Yeah. And taught her a lesson out of that. Is that constructive, and then go out in public like that? Is that constructive, or? Marriage
and family therapists work with a lot of families, teenagers in the context of the family. And one of the things I think this also representative of that is kind of social media, and parents are always saying, don't post anything. We see a story today about this cyberbullying and everything else. Don't post anything that you would not want repeated. It's your digital footprint. It's the stamp, and assume everybody can see it. And parents sometimes get frustrated when their teens don't heed that advice. So I think this guy basically said, look, I'm going to take this picture, and I don't care who sees it. But I think it's a way of showing.
Well, he doesn't care, but does that hurt his daughter at all in terms of humiliation?
Well, we don't know anything about them or kind of connection we had, but you'd think it was such a high-profile thing, it couldn't help their connection, so we don't know what type of, how the dad tried to convey that
might be fun for a dad to do at home and say, I'll wear these out. If you're going to wear those shorts, I'm going to wear these out, and then not really do it.
But. Right. There's a difference between doing it at home or embarrassing her on a local level versus he's a viral level.
Yeah, he's a big internet celebrity now.
That's right. So it's taken on a life of its own. Yeah, probably though. The point was, to kind of hold it together and do not go out in an inappropriate way. So he proved his point.
It is tough. For parents, you want to be disciplinarians. You have to be careful not to be too much of a friend to your children. But with social media today, it is astounding. If you put on, say, hey, my kid said this, and I thought it was so funny, and it could hurt their feelings if you're not thinking it through, that they may feel a little silly about it.
Yeah, any good parenting, you got to model, right, appropriate boundaries and things. So you shouldn't ask your teens or your children to do anything you wouldn't do. So if you're inappropriately posting, and just as many as adults make inappropriate posts as teens, it's pretty hard for your teenager to take you seriously. So yeah, I think you got to even if it's good natured, whether you're posting a picture like that or something like that. You know, if you're the parent, you got to really think of what that's going to mean to your teenager.
Or if you're one of those political people who's ranting about politics all the time and using the F-bomb and all, you know, there's some people, they just post things online like they're screaming in a car with their friends or something. It was like, dude, do you realize your name's connected to that? You look like an idiot.
What about that growing up with your boys? Did that ever, for, you know, you being a radio personality, did anything you ever said or do in the nature of kind of entertainment and in the radio and TV business ever cause trouble for them?
I didn't think about it at the time, but we were just talking about this the other day because we were talking about Chuck Olmstead, the late Chuck Olmstead.
Chuck Olmstead.
One morning, they had me on TV fixing breakfast for my kids. You know, and Rachel Platt is the anchor back at the station. And I pulled a little prank on them back at the station just for fun. And, you know, I'm making pancakes in my kitchen, and Rachel said, you know, go wake up your kids. So I walked down the hall, and I thought, well, it's time to get them up for school. And the camera guy's following me, and it's all lit up. You know, we'd already worked it out. And I go in my kid's bedroom, and I pull back the top bunk cover, and it's Chris Turner, who's a reporter for us. And then he pops up, and they're just stunned back at the station. And then I said, let's wake up Simon. And then Chuck Olmstead pops out of there. And, you know, everybody had a good laugh. But then I stuck my hand on the bed, and I said, he stayed dry. Well, then later, my son saw that, and he was mortified. You know, I forgot how old he was, 5, 6, I don't know, but whatever. It was just a joke, a parent joke, you know.
Right.
It was like, oh.
Simon remembered that when he went to kindergarten.
I don't know, but I mean,
Right.
It never occurred to me that my kid would be offended. But in that same context, you know, social media is the same thing. If you say something that's maybe and that wasn't even a connection to my kid. That was only a joke about somebody asleep and they woke up.
But it is a good point. It's also a good rule. We talked with parents and teenagers also around boundaries of what you share kind of with friends and outside of the family and what you don't. And a lot of times, you know, parents tell teenagers, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. But it's a similar thing. A lot of times teenagers want their privacy. And if they are having a problem at school or they have a physical issues, as many teenagers, you know, whether they have acne or going through some physical change, they don't want their parents to broadcast a lot of stuff. And I often think, you know, in what I do, I'm talking to my students, to my clients, kind of about my relationship, my marriage, my kids all the time. And I do that as a way to kind of level the playing field and empathize with other people and share these real human experiences. But when you do it in a public venue, you got to really think about that. And sometimes people don't want things shared. And sometimes, you know, you don't know, even in what is a joke to you can really offend or really make a sensitive family member kind of shut down. So, yeah, it's a good point.
Dr. Eli Karam, he's online at elikaram.com. His last name is spelled Karam. It's great to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you.
Rock on, brother. We'll see you again soon. All right. Eli is in the house.